Plymouth, Minnesota. Just want to talk a little bit today about how to choose the best real estate agent to sell your house. And everybody's got a different opinion on who's the best real estate agent. What is a great real estate agent? What do real estate agents charge? Are their fees negotiable? What do they do? Do they put my house on the MLS? Do they hire a professional photographer? Do they pay for staging? What happens if I want to get out of the contract? How long does the contract last? What if they get an offer for my house and I decide not to sell? These are all questions you should probably think about, ask yourself before you start interviewing agents to sell your house. We all know how we can find an agent to interview, right? Google search, YouTube search, ask your friends, family, recommendations, walk into an open house, see how that agent conducts themselves, and start asking questions. That's really the best way to find a real estate agent that's going to work for you. So those questions I mentioned earlier, ask yourself those questions and then gauge the response from at least a few different real estate agents. But I want to give you a few quick tips to really make sure you choose the best agent for you. So that agent, in my opinion, should be local. Real estate is hyper local, and that agent should be close to your property, and if nothing else, really know your area well and have a reputation in your area. So everyone has a different pitch, real estate agents, and why you should hire them. But I think as a consumer first, when I want to hire someone, I want the best of all worlds, and I think you can get close. You're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're not always going to get the absolute best level of service for free. So you're going to have to pay for it, but you don't need to pay the very top dollar to get the very best, in my opinion. A lot of times the very best are the agents that are reasonable in their commission and willing to work with you and actually may negotiate. If a house sells for $5 million in one day and the agent only has a few $1,000s into that sale, do you think they should really get 6% on $5 million, $300,000 to sell your house in one day and spend $2,000? Some agents think so. Some consumers think so. I personally don't. I like to work with a client the way they want the process to go and determine what's a win-win for both of us. Set out the stipulations on commissions up front. If commission rate is the most important, bring that up first. Let that agent know. See if they're willing to even work with you. Maybe you want to save your time if it's not a right fit out of the gates. So commissions are one thing, but what is that agent actually going to do to get you top dollar, and how can they prove that? Sometimes it is hard to prove, sometimes impossible to prove. But some of the things after 20 years in the business that I want to make sure you demand from your agent: professional videography, photography, drone photos, audio, descriptions, blog post, premier placement on all of the major search sites. So if your agent can't explain to you how the multiple listing service works, or the MLS, and how it gets syndicated to all sorts of different websites without doing anything but entering it into the North Star Regional MLS, then you might want to bypass that agent. So if you found this video, chances are you're looking for an agent, or you are an agent trying to see what other top agents are doing. But regardless of how you found the video and why you're here, please let me know other topics you want me to cover. So I'm going to be just finishing up here on tips, things to think about when selling your house and choosing an agent. After you've identified an agent that you feel is going to fit for you, get it in writing. Figure out what to do if they don't live up to their end of the deal. What happens if something changes in your world and you no longer want to sell? What happens if you take your house off the market and you get an offer the next day? All of these things should be spelled out in a contract. I like to think we don't need contracts and can do business on a handshake, and word is bond. However, when push comes to shove, no matter who you are, attorneys will tell you, ask you, what does the contract say? It always goes back to the contract. Protect yourself. Agents want to protect themselves, that's okay, but just make sure you protect yourself. We can't give legal advice, so consider reaching out to an attorney if you have questions or don't feel comfortable. Tune in for more tips on how to choose the best agent, questions to ask. Hopefully this brief summary gives you a few ideas, and I'll get more in depth in the next video. Please subscribe if you found any value in this video and if you want to see more. Take care.